STN Racing proudly presents round one of the eNASCAR Road to Pro qualifying iRacing series. It's race number 4, and we keep plowing forward on the season. We're here at the largest track we'll visit in this first round, Talladega Superspeedway. Pack racing, excitement, and the big one lurking around every corner. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to STN Racing's live coverage of the fourth race of the eNASCAR Road to Pro Qualifying iRacing Series from virtual Talladega Superspeedway in Lincoln, Alabama. The high banks of Talladega will provide the action for tonight's race, and this track almost never disappoints. Glad to have you along for the ride, everybody. Jacob Pitts, Hex Valentine here with you for the call. Zach Johnson, our producer for the night. Man, this is going to be fun, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, I'm very, very excited here. We're going to see lots of close racing here. Very, very tight with this track. I don't think we'll see many big ones tonight. Maybe one, maybe two, but I have very high faith in this driver that we're going to get lots of green laps here.
We'll have to wait and see. I know in some of the racing that I've been seeing so far, we've seen a lot of, well, kind of riding around up on the high side of the racetrack and just taking it easy getting to the end. We may see that here tonight. Let's run through the starting grid for tonight's race. We start with Liam Brotherton on the pole with Garrison Hogan to his outside. Then in row number 2, Jesse Atchison and Umar Diallo. He starts in the outside row in 4th. Matt Adams starts in 5th with Lucas Cram in 6th. Corey Carpenter lines up in the 7th spot with Brandon Hoff on the outside in 8th. Row 5, Justin Levine starts 9th in the number 9. Adam Gilliland to his outside.
And then the 11, we got Landon Huffman. And then we got Santiago Tires in the 12th spot. We got Michael Guria, in the 13th, Jeremy R. Allen in the 14th, Will Cooley at 15th, right next to him is Logan Kress at the 16th spot, Christian Peterson at 17th, Daniel Smallwood in 18th, Connor Horn at 19th, and at 20th, we got PJ Evans.
21st is Jesse Swartz, and lining up to his outside, Caden Honeycutt. Nicholas Shelton starts 23rd with Justin Knobloch 24th. Will Klein in 25th with Blake McCandless, our very own from STN. He starts 26th. Brandon McKissick starts 27th. Kyle Myers behind them in 28th. 29th, the winner at Richmond, Colin Bowden. 30th, Jacob Harberts.
31st, bringing up the back of the pack, we got Will Norton. Right next to him, Brian M. Smith. Trevor Perry at 33rd. Benjamin W. Nelson at 34th. And at the last spot, we got Tim Sozio.
Here we go. This is pretty much what we've waited for all day long. Air temp 77 degrees, track temp, it's cooking. 106, wind out of the east, 5 mile an hour, 40% humidity. It's a beautiful day for a race, and what better place to race today than Talladega. It's going to be Liam Brotherton and Garrison Hogan leading us down to the green flag for the first time here at Talladega. Green flag, we're racing.
Here we go. We got a pretty clean start here. I don't see any wrecks or mashups in the back of the pack as we come into turn 1, side by side, 2 wide, keeping it nice and clean here. Everybody keeping it smooth and under control. No changes of position here as we approach the front stretch, or excuse me, the back stretch.
Might see some people dip down below the yellow line and drop back. Just decide to get the heck out of the way for the time being and fall to the back of the pack. Doesn't look like we're going to see that here as these guys come up to speed. It takes them about a full lap to get up to full song. By the time they get back to start-finish line, though, these guys are going to be cooking.
That's right. We got about 2.5 miles here in Lincoln, Alabama at Talladega. These turns are banked in at 33 degrees as well. And these guys got about 36 to maybe 40 laps amount of fuel here as we get ready to head into lap number 2. We still got 23 at the front here, Liam, and then Garrison right off to his side here at the 31.
And double wide through these, well, pretty much every row here. I'm kind of impressed they've stayed this way this long. I really would have expected these guys to just move on up to the high side. But in these early laps, you're bound to see some wild moments. Just got to be careful about not tearing your truck up.
Yeah, we saw the dark blue car here. He's moving up. He was making the right passes as he's right next to 31 here. I believe that is going to be Jesse right there and the dark blue car right next to the 31.
Yeah, that's Jesse Atchison, and pretty much the you can't see me blue truck. You can't see a number, can't see a sponsor, can't see much on it. But right now, he doesn't get to lead the lap. That lap belongs to Garrison Hogan. They're still side by side, about 10 rows deep as they head back to one.
Yeah, we're seeing some very nice and uniform racing here, hoping to maybe we at least see a little bit more moves. A lot of drivers taking it very passive. I mean, we got 100 laps to go here, about an hour and a half of clean racing if we could get that, but they are keeping it nice and smooth. We still got, let's see, Hogan, Jesse, Omar, and Liam leading the front four as 31 moves up into that front slot here, and then we see the, excuse me, we see Jesse in the 25 in the third slot as well.
It's Umar Diallo up there on the high side in that 25 machine. He's trying to make his way through the field to the outside with help from Lucas Cram. Side by side for the lead with Atchison giving help to Hogan. Cram under the back bumper. Diallo back to turn one. He may have a shot off of turn two as we're already starting to get three wide.
Yeah, we got the 2, the 9, and I believe the 5 car down there. Couldn't really see the front or the side of him, but they are getting 3 wide as we get ready to go into turn 3 here. We're seeing lots of bump draft and lots of helping out here too. I don't think he's going to be able to get back in line here. He may end up having to side draft it to get his position back, or he's just going to fall all the way back behind the 21.
Yeah, your friends are where you find them early on, late in this race. It really doesn't matter when, but Logan Kress is probably going to drop to the back in that outside lane. Maybe he's just trying to learn stuff for later on in the afternoon. But for right now, he's just going to ride around, nowhere to go.
Maybe he's anticipating a big one coming up here as he's just falling behind. He's all the way in the back here as we approach turn 1, going into lap number 5 as well. We got about 5% of this way through this race. It's too early to call on who we think is going to actually walk away with the checker flag here, but the leaders are keeping it nice and tight here. Where we got about an even lane in between both these cars. They're keeping it 2 wide. We've only seen 1 3-wide move in 1 lap here as 25 moves into that front position as well.
Umar Diallo takes the lead from that high side. Took him maybe a little longer than he wanted to, but still he winds up bringing that 25 Chevy out in front. Here comes Lucas Cram on the high side. He's got a big run with help from Brandon Hoff. They've got really a great run coming off the corner, and it's going to be Cram that leads here at the line.
Yeah, as we saw Jesse falling back here, and then we got Lucas. He's holding up front here, the 34 car, but again, they're going 3 wide again with that number 2, 7, and 5. He's right back up there, but I don't think he's got the move. I think he's just going to have to stay where he's at for now. Unless he could catch a really nice side draft, I don't think he's moving up any positions here as we go into turn 3.
Maybe just being too aggressive for where he's out on the racetrack right now. Nobody else willing to go with him yet. There's still a long way to go, and I'm sure by the end of this deal, he may get some help in a third or maybe even 4th line around the racetrack as we're on board with the 6 of Adam Gilliland on that high side, second in line.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Sorry about that. But, yeah, you're right.
Go ahead.
These guys, they're keeping it very, very clean. I mean, we're only 7 laps into here. And as we see, we still got the same, pretty much the same 4 leaders that we had right off of the start of the race. We got Omar out there. We got Lucas. We got Adam. And then we got, let's see who else we got up here as well as we approach into turn 3. We got the number 6 car.
Ooh, that was a big move by Lucas Cram. He pulled out from behind Brandon Hoff coming off turn 2. Got a big launch from Adam Gilliland on the high side. Came down in front of him down the back straightaway and retakes the lead. So Lucas Cram back out in front. Pretty aggressive, I would say, for being lap 7. But a great move. He made it work. Now Adam Gilliland's going to fit to the bottom.
Yeah, we're seeing maybe some of those more aggressive moves here as we see the 911 getting up close and behind each other. Maybe we can see a little bit of a bump to get back in and close that distance here as we go to turn 2, but we're not really seeing much of anything outside of that move. We got the 11 side-by-side with the 26 and 34. Lucas, he's still leading it very, very well here. His fastest lap being a 51.277. And right behind him is a 51.289. But other than that, it's very, very clean. Like, they're separating themselves the top 5 for the rest of the pack as we look at that gap. behind Brandon and Adam and all of them. It's to get a little bit too far away. Somebody's going to have to push each other up and keep making that move.
Look at this run on the high side. Justin Levine in the 9, pushing Santiago Tires, the winner at our opening race at Las Vegas, off of turn 4, through the trioval rather, and it's going to be Tires leading that lap. He's clear down low. He thought about it. He's going to stay on the outside. Levine's going to keep helping him through turns 1 and 2, but here comes Cram and Brandon Hoff back on the inside line.
Yeah, he's getting the moves that he needs to knock down right now, but I don't think that leader is going to be budging or making any mistakes here soon. The bottom 4 just trying to keep it up as they're keeping it nice and single file here, but somebody's going to have to catch that up top draft if they want to keep closing the pack here. Otherwise, it's just going to be a bunch of 11, 9, 34, and 26 leading all of this race as the top 4 as they come around and approach the end of turn 4.
Well, you can see the 25, Omar Diallo really struggling on that inside line to keep up with the 34 and the 26. There's been a lot of a gap there as here comes Tires. He comes down right in front of the 34, gets a big shove from the 34 at start finish. I don't know how he didn't get turned through the trioval, but he's going to take the lead, and Justin Levine, he's going to bail out of it. He'll pull to the inside.
Yeah, that was a really, really aggressive move there as he gets right in front of the 34, as you said. And he's getting a little bit of a bump here as well as we go down the back stretch, but he holds it. He's keeping it steady. He's keeping it as good as he can. I'm thinking maybe the 34 is just trying to get him a little shove, trying to get him a little nervous so he can more influence to take that high line, but maybe 34 will catch this draft here on the back end. Oh, there he goes. He's going up high. Will he get the move? Side by side, 34. Lucas takes the front spot as he's getting help from Brandon as they bump and they take the inside line here, going into lap 11.
Yeah, Cram apologized for that contact there. I'm sure Tires made you a new pair of pants after that contact. So it's Cram and Hoff back out in front. Levine now leads that outside line. You've got Tires on the inside line behind Adam Gilliland. And now it's P.J. Evans in that orange and black 24 truck that is second on the outside line and is going to be responsible for pushing that 9 up to the front.
Yep, I think that hopefully these two drivers will be able to make the move here and close out that distance, because if they don't, Lucas and Brandon are going to be able to pull away if they keep up with the nice steady line here. But as we approach turn 4, I don't think we're going to be able to see much of anything unless he gets that side draft and that bump from the car behind that number 11 Santiago. I just don't think he's going anywhere.
Cram and Hoff continue to lead. It's Justin Levine fighting on that outside line, trying to catch up to the trucks in front of him of Cram and Hoff, who pretty much since the drop of the green flag have certainly been a factor, but they've led a decent amount of this race. Sure, we're only 11 laps in, but they are hanging tough out in front.
Yeah, they are. And you right behind them, we got the number 21, the number 19, number 2, Jacob, Daniel, and Logan as they try to keep this middle of the pack racing here nice and clean. Number 2 getting a little too high. He's losing that draft, but he falls right back in as he follows closely behind Jacob. I'm trying to keep more of my eyes on the middle of the pack here, see how well nice and tight that they're getting here as we go into lap 13. We got 13, 2, 23, and 31. Respectively, that is going to be Daniel, Logan, Liam, and Garrison as we head into turn 1 going into lap 13.
Really, the middle of the pack has been good, all things considered. They haven't made too many bold moves. Haven't seen much of any three wide. We saw the 2 make a couple of moves early, but that didn't really work out for them. Other than that, everything has been just fine. I think things have been more chaotic in the top 5 than it has been back in the middle of the pack like we may typically see. We call it the eye of the storm. Really, there's a lot of chaos going on in that part of the pack. But right now, things have been relatively calm.
Yeah, I must have just missed it because Logan, he worked his slot right back up into the 10th position here. As we recall, about maybe 7 or 8 laps ago, he was all the way back there with 21, and now we got Jesse in the 14th spot. He was in second, so maybe we can see a little bit more this eye of the storm pushing closer and closer to this pack as we get right down into turn 1. We still have Lucas, Justin, and Brandon as our top 3 leaders, and not much else happening. They're keeping it 1 to 2 cars wide. We got this nice single stretch line on the inside line here. Not too many cars taking the outside line. Would you say that outside line's just a little too slower for everybody's taste, so they just keep it nice and single file here?
I think everybody just wants to chill out, relax, make it to the first set of green flag pit stops. They're going to have to pit at least twice. My math is, yes, they're going to have to pit at least twice. So why not just ride around till that first green flag pit stop? Because we know green flag pit stops here are not that easy. And we've seen a lot of mistakes come from green flag pit stops, whether it's speeding, whether it's crashes. So these guys are, if I had to guess, they'd rather be single file right around and then hopefully just keep it clean trying to get on pit road than wad them up now and ruin the fun of green flag pit stops.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, because like we said earlier at the start of this race, they only got about 36 to 40, depending on how much fuel they took at the start of this race. But I feel like a lot of people will be coming in around the 38th, maybe even the 36th lap, just to get as much of a fuel advantage as they can, because once we see all those leaders pitting in, maybe somebody in the back will forget about fuel. Hopefully we don't see anybody run out of gas here as we go into lap 16.
Well, depending on where you run out of fuel, that's going to be a long trip back to pit road. More than 2.5 miles this racetrack, it's a long way around, especially when everybody else is going almost 200 miles an hour around this racetrack, and you're going 40 trying to make it all the way back to the pits. Top 2, top 3 single file. And then it's double wide pretty much the next 6-7 rows deep. Then we get single file pretty much the rest of the way through. It's Lucas Cram, Brandon Hoff, Adam Gilliland, your top 3. Justin Levine, Santiago Gutierrez battling for the 4th and 5th spot as they come back off turn number 4 to complete lap number 16.
Yeah, we got PJ Evans right here in the 6th, Omar in the 7th, Connor in the 8th, Daniel in the 9th, and then we got excuse me, trying to catch up right here. We got Jacob as our top 10 racers as we go into turn 1. Turn number 2, he's been trying to fight his way back ever since he fell back super hard. Logan, he's holding it steady in the top 10 spot. Maybe we can see a little bit more aggressive moves for him. We saw him try to take it 3 wide earlier. Maybe he can give 21 a little bit of a bump and keep things a little bit tighter. They're starting to separate more and more as we get deeper into this race, as is to be expected. But I thought the leaders were going to have a much bigger gap here, all things considered with how clean everything's been. But everybody just keep it real nice and smooth here. Mostly just 2 wides and single file racing. Very nice and uniform.
Saw a blinker on the outside line. It's the 28 of Christian Peterson. He was our blinker 2 weeks ago at Richmond and may have inadvertently caused a crash involving Caden Lapsovich off of turn 2 at Richmond 2 weeks ago when he went flying. So we'll keep an eye on that 28 as time goes on. The outside line has pretty much disintegrated. PJ Evans is pulled to the inside. So is Connor Horn. Jacob Harbert's hanging tough on the outside. He's going to try and make it 3 wide around Justin Levine. The only 3 wide move so far in this pack, and I can't imagine it's going to work out well for Harberts. He's just going to sink like an anchor on the top of the track. And, that outside line, it's vanished right before our very eyes.
Yes, it did. It's very risky taking it 3 wide here, because if you got nobody helping you, you are falling right back. And as we see here, we got Logan. He's in 5th now. I mean, this man's been all over the field today, and, it's really more about surviving the race and keeping the drive line and finding a friend out there who can bump draft you and keep you both going. Find somebody who will serve everybody's interest here in the track, because if you can't find somebody to bump draft, or if you're not helping other drivers out, it's going to be very, very tough, as we still got Lucas, Justin, Brandon, and Logan here. They were getting pretty close, but nobody seems to be bumping each other as we go outside of turn 4, and this is going to be another led lap by Lucas.
You got to keep in mind that the longer these guys push, they stay tucked under somebody, the more of a risk they're going to have of blowing up. Those water temps are going to heat up, and you may overcook your engine and lie up in the garage early. So you got to wonder about Brandon Hoff. You have seen him get a little bit of air here and there, but he has stayed tucked underneath that 34 almost since the drop of the green flag.
Yeah, he really has. He's found his spot, but anything can really happen here with oval racing. We may just keep it green all the way through, but at a moment's notice, maybe 28, there he goes, he's blinking again. 28 blinking again, and just like that, we could have another accident on our hands.
Saw the 9 and Justin Levine down the back straightaway. He got almost even with Lucas Cram. Couldn't get by him, kind of in the corners. Just doesn't have the speed that he really needs, and it's pretty much cost him.
Yeah, and as we see here, the top 11 just slightly pulled away from the midfield. They got a 0.2 second gap going into turn 1 as we keep Omar, Daniel, Garrison, and Jesse back here, at least through the 12 to 15. But they're just keeping it single file, trying to catch up with the rest of this pack, I hope. I mean, 18's trying to get 33 to go up here with Tim and Kyle back here at the 18 and 19 spot, as they're slowly just pulling away from this race. But it's going to be hard. I've been watching number 5 back here and number 12, Landon and Michael, trying to keep up with the rest of the pack, but it's very hard to make a move when everybody's just racing single file here. Going into lap 22, we're going to have Lucas at the front, Brandon in second, Justin in third, and Adam in fourth.
And again, that's all by design. It's so that they can make it further on into the race. You don't want an accident like we had in the Daytona 500 earlier this year. Lap 15, the entire pack flies apart, and you've got 15 cars left to run the rest of the race. These guys want to make it as long as they can before they get too aggressive and start wadding trucks up.
As we see 2 and 9, 2's giving 9 that push, trying to get them a little bit further ahead, trying to serve both their interests. Let's see if it'll be enough for Justin to get around Lucas here as we go into turn 3. It doesn't look like he'll fall right side by side by Lucas. His 26 is closing in right behind, or right to the side of number 9, pulling a little bit away. Unfortunately, it just wasn't enough for Adam to push Justin ahead to get him a new leader position, as Lucas is still leading here in this race. And we are turning into lap 23, going into turn 1. I mean, pretty much like you said, by design, these drivers want to keep it clean. This was a very well-disciplined race, and we see a few bumps, a few little wiggles, but not much else. They've only gone 3 wide twice this whole race as we approach our 20-minute mark, and that fuel window is getting a little shorter and shorter.
Yeah, we'll see guys come in about the next 12 laps or so. As Justin Levine, it seemed like he may have had a shot for the lead. Now he's stuck back next to Adam Gilliland. Side by side pretty much for the third place spot. Off of 4, back to the stripe. Lucas Cram going to lead yet another. Cram and Brandon Hoff are teammates from Kligerman Sport. And that explains why they've been working so well together. But here comes Levine with a big run from Kress. Not going to be able to get there going into 1, and I imagine that the inside line is going to take over here coming through 1 and 2, and we're going to see that 34 pretty much clear the 9 by corner exit.
Yeah, hopefully, but I don't know. I feel like Justy's coming in again, giving that 9 a little bit of a tap. I think here it's going to be just enough if he can keep it up as they get going. They're even here going into turn 3, but once again, Lucas is going to pull away. He's going to need a little bit more speed from that. Maybe a bump isn't the immediate move as we go back here at the balance stretch. Like, try to get as close as you can with him, and then give it another lap or 2 to try here. They tried this move twice now, but it hasn't been enough for Justin to move on up here into the first place slot. And like you said, those 2 teammates work very well together, Brandon and Lucas, making sure that their team can grab more points here, because a top 2 from 2 teammates on the same team is going to help you out very well into the season.
Well, you got to wonder, because we saw earlier on Santiago Tires and Justin Levine work together, and Tires stormed up to the front and got himself to the lead. maybe it's the fact that the 9 is set up to be a good pusher, not a good pushy, and that's why the 2 can't get the 9 out in front, just because the 9 is built to be the guy pretty much running second in that outside line, giving you the shove.
You know, that's a pretty good theory, and I think that it's pretty much what we're dealing with here. You can see 2's just been trying to encourage, or Logan's been trying to encourage Justin to get him on up there. You know, let's get a new leader here, but not much is happening, and, you know, there's nothing wrong with safe racing at all. I very much would rather watch all these drivers go through 100 clean with no caution, as they're just very, very, very well disciplined here. I mean, we're seeing drivers with up to 7,000 I rating at the most here. A lot of them just a little bit under 6.8. But these drivers know exactly what to do on this track and know how to hold all these lines and be very consistent with them as well too, because consistency is very, very key. You can be fast for 1 or 2 laps, but if you aren't consistently keeping up those numbers, you're going to be quickly falling behind the pack.
See, these guys, tires getting a little worn. They're a little more difficult for them to hold their lines down on the inside. You're going to see more guys start to slide up a little bit. But how about this? You've got almost 10 trucks lined up here on the bottom, and that outside line of 4 is still pretty much hanging around.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the outside line isn't what we're all looking for here, but it's very, very hard to fall back in once you're caught out there. I mean, these drivers have been keeping that gap in between these cars pretty close, so it's like once you're there, you got to commit. You got to start helping out those other people on that outside line. But as I say that, we see number 9, he falls right in front of the 24. That outside line just not working for him anymore. And now 2, he's out there alone, but he's side drafting the 9. Will it be enough to get him into the 4th slot? Maybe it's a little bit bigger as they start to separate, but I feel like 9's going to be closing the door here soon as 28 and 2 start running up on each, or not running up on each other, but 28 bumps number 2 to get him up there a little bit faster, as we see just 9 falling back.
He saw that hole on the inside. He wanted to take it, maybe getting ready for green flag stops, as here comes Brandon Hoff to the outside with the help from Logan Kress. He's going to come to the bottom. They're going to make contact. They're going to be 3 wide for the lead for the moment. Peterson's going to bail out of it. Brandon Hoff is going to take the lead, but at what cost? He almost took out his teammate and maybe half the pack. That was close.
Yeah, that was very, very close, as we saw the number 2 getting real close, but they're holding it pretty well together, especially on these worn tires, as we're getting ready to go on to our 29th lap here of the session. But you got to wonder, was that really the right move for 2 teammates right there? I mean, they were holding it up pretty well. I don't know, maybe it was a little loose or not the right call.
Have to wait and see. We're 28 laps in the books here at Talladega for the eNASCAR Road to Pro Qualifying iRacing Series. We're going to step aside. You won't miss a thing. We'll go side by side, and we'll come back with green flag pit stops here from Talladega.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
We're back here at Talladega. Brandon Hoff is your race leader. Lucas Cram in second. And holy crap, here comes the 17 of Jesse Atchison. Like a bat out of hell with Ben Nelson to help. They're going to come from way downtown to take the lead in turn one.
And we finally got new leaders, but I wasn't really looking at the middle of the pack. I just saw the "You Can't See Me" blue card, Jesse moving on up with 32. I got to look back and see what happened there, as they were getting 3 wide as we were going across the line here, and now we got
Well, here we go, because we've got people coming in this time. Lucas Cram is one. PJ Evans is another. The 2 is another of Logan Kress. Here we go. Off of turn 4, we've got 5 or 6 trucks diving to the apron. The 34, the 26, the 2, the 24, and the 9. And so far, so good. Nobody wadded it up. So they're going to come to pit road. The rest of the leaders are going to hang out right now. And it is Jesse Atchison, Ben Nelson, Matt Adams, your top 3. Then Adam Gilliland and Christian Peterson. This completely shuffled this top 5 based off of that move with Atchison, and then the green flag stops.
Yeah, that was one hell of a move. As we see last week's winner, we got Santiago right here in 6th spot. I can't really find Michael or Colin, or not last week's, excuse me, their very first winner at March 1st at Las Vegas, Santiago, right here at the 6th spot. But I'm looking out here, I'm looking for Michael, I'm looking for Colin. As we move in here to the lap 34, you think these guys will fit it?
Couple more coming in. The 6, Adam Gilliland. Christian Peterson is in. Let's see. Who else back here? Sozio locking him up slideways. He makes it just fine. Trevor Perry, last race winner, Colin Bowden. He's on pit road. Caden Honeycutt is in. Jacob Harberts is in. And that's the extent of pits this time. And I think everybody and their mother is coming in this time by.
Yeah, I would be very, very surprised if we didn't see the rest of the pack here, as we got our Atlanta Motor Speedway winner, Michael. He's still out there at the 12th spot. He's going to have to come in, otherwise he's going to run out of fuel.
Through 3 and 4, expect to see a lot of trucks pull onto the apron here off of turn 4. It's probably going to be led by Atchison, and here we go. A snarling pack of about 20 trucks bringing it onto pit road. They're fanning out 5, 6 wide. Are they all going to make it? Holy cow, they did. This is like trying to stuff a marshmallow into a parking meter when you've got 20, 25 trucks trying to make their way onto pit road. They all make it work, and I don't think many or any missed their pit box.
Well, 3 missed it.
That is unbelievable. Had somebody back up in the middle of pit lane, but that was better than having to drive all the way back around. Missed who that was. Through 3 and 4, it's Adam Gilliland, your race leader, with Christian Peterson, or your eventual race leader. Here comes PJ Evans around the outside. We've got a nice little battle off the corner. Looks like Evans is going to get the spot, and I think they're going to beat out this entire pack by a mile. Here they come to the stripe. They're past it, headed for turn 1. Jesse Atchison got off pit road first. They're going to smoke. They're going to fly by him like he's standing still as he's on the apron through 1 and 2. So this is going to be pretty spread out. Small pack versus big pack. Actually, Atchison, he's going to pull up, try and get the draft. He doesn't want to fall too far behind, but still, they're going to pass him like he's standing still. They'll pull a little bit of a snake around the outside on him, and he's going to fall back. Christian Peterson going to lead the line on the outside, but it's all PJ Evans at the front as we have cycled through. Green flag stops, and nobody got hurt.
Yeah, very, very happy to see a clean green stop like that. As we saw, like you said, 5, 6 wide, and you know, I was a little worried there as we saw a little bit brake locks. I think maybe 2 or 3 drivers locked up their brakes out there, but they've been keeping it very, very clean here. I'm very happy to see some new leaders out here as well. PJ Evans finally grabbing that number 1 spot, but Brandon fell right back into second, excuse me. And then we got Christian right by his side and Logan right behind him as he's up here with Jacob as we keep our top 5 just a little close. But hopefully as we get deeper and deeper into this race, we'll see a little bit more of aggressive moves as we're only about 36% of this race done with 36 out of 100 down.
Well, I don't think anybody had to come onto pit road for a penalty of any kind. So I think for the most part, really everybody got through that without incident. The 10 of Justin Knobloch has lost the draft. He has fallen way back off of the green flag pit stop cycle, so we may see him get lapped in a little while. But it's PJ Evans out in front, Christian Peterson trying to lead the outside line with help from Jacob Harberts, then Jesse Atchison in the mystery blue truck. And then everybody else is pretty much single file like they were before they came onto pit road. So I would imagine with guys pitting around lap 32 or so, we'll see everybody else come in on lap 64. And that's going to put them right on the edge of making it the rest of the way. It would be nice for them to have another caution between lap 64 and the end, just so they can come in and make sure that they can make it to the end. And God forbid if we need overtime, we have 3 attempts at a green light checker just in case. We know cautions breed cautions, especially at plate tracks, but I'm sure some of these guys would really like a caution after our last green flag stop here in a little while.
Yeah, as we saw people taking their pit stops a little later, maybe by a lap or two, but as we maybe get around the 64 to 66, I think we're going to see a lot of people trying to conserve their fuel after the second pit stop, because if you got a really nice lead, but you only got about 30 more laps of fuel there, so once you hit lap 90 or lap 89, you're going to have to go back in for fuel. So I'm sure some drivers out here got their fingers crossed, hey, please, 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 let's get a yellow out here after 64 so we can get some fuel in our trucks. But that's far ahead of the future as they're still keeping it pretty much single file after right behind Logan here as we go into turn 1. And I got to say, these drivers are just being very patient with each other. We haven't seen too many aggressive moves other than the one when we came back from our break, when we saw them go 3 wide and just a whole group of leaders change, but that didn't really matter much. As soon as they went into pits, we pretty much had the same 4 or 5 people up here in the front as we did after that really, really well done move.
Christian Peterson, Jacob Harberts, they're fighting hard on that outside line. They just can't get by the 24 and the 26. They're the only 2 running the outside line. Everybody else pretty much knows the tail on the bottom, hugging that yellow line. And I think that's the reason they can't get anywhere on the high side. They may be working together pretty well. 2 trucks versus the rest of the pack just ain't going to cut it.
Yeah, it's really not going to cut it here. But we're getting almost to about halfway through this race. Haven't seen a single yellow flag come out. So who knows? Maybe we could get a full 100 laps here going completely green. As I'm just looking down the backstretch here, single file, single file, single file. Not really much happening, but other than that, I think that we're still going to have a pretty good race on our hands, because it's all about who's going to be able to take their pits better than the person right next to them. You know, whose little pit crew is more awake. But other than that, as we approach the end of turn 4, we still got PJ out front. Right next to him is Christian, and right behind him, Brandon, and Jacob right by his side. And we still got Logan nice and comfy at the top 5 spot, holding it down at 5th, as Jesse might maybe move to the outside here and maybe go 2 by 2 and try to push Logan out, but I don't think much will happen outside of that.
I saw Logan Crest kind of eyeballing that outside line. He thought about it for a moment, down the front straightaway, thought better of it. Well, Christian Peterson and Jacob Harberts working together on that outside line, trying to almost side draft. 24 PJ Evans got below the yellow line for a moment and almost got turned by Brandon Hoff. They're still trying to work together on the inside line as now Christian Peterson starts to fall back, and he needs that support from Harberts if he wants to get have another shot at getting back up towards the front.
Yeah, that's... Excuse me, sorry. My screen went a little bit dark here. But I'm keeping my eyes down this single file track. Maybe we could get a little bit more of an influence side by side. We still got Corey here 15th, Matt right behind him, Benjamin, Michael, and then we got Omar all the way back here at the 19th spot. And you got to wonder, you think he's a little bit more motivated to get back up there? Maybe some side drafts and maybe some other drivers will follow suit?
Nah, it's still too early. They got to make it through another round of stops. After those pit stops, though, I think we're going to see the intensity pick up. We're going to have to, because they're going to run out of laps if they wait any longer. It's not like the Cup cars where you can pull a run out of nowhere and fly up to the front very, very quickly, especially when things get busy, because you're going to have gridlock, 4 lanes, 13 trucks deep, and nothing's going to be able to go anywhere. So you got to start making the push to get to the front by about 30 to go. That'll be after the last green flag stops. And from there, you're just trying to get to the front and trying to influence any way you can to get your line ahead of everybody else's line, and to have a shot to get in a different line, maybe make a move and get out in front. That's when we see a lot of the chaos and a lot of the wrecks, are people trying to go for the same spot on the racetrack, and it just doesn't work out, not enough room, they make contact, and the entire field has nowhere to go, especially if it's at the front, because this track is wide, don't get me wrong, but it's not wide enough, as Christian Peterson's going to squeak in there between Brandon Hoff and Logan Kress. He saw the opening, he's going to go for it, and that's going to leave Jacob Harbert stuck on Gilligan's Island up on the high side with nowhere to go.
Yeah, and also I saw Landon back there. He went outside, as you were saying about, speaking of like making moves, Landon took that outside line, squeezed by the number 12, 25, and 18, and he's sitting right there at the 18th spot. But
ooh, man, Harbert squeaks it in front of Peterson, so everybody knows the tail.
As you see, we got Blake approaching out here. Oh, gets right in front of Michael, and he's right behind Landon too. Maybe we start seeing more outside lines race it, but we are literally all single file here as we approach the end of turn 4.
Single file choo-choo train here at Talladega. The only double-wide battle is back here with Jeremy Allen, who is currently 24th. He's the only man running the outside line, and they are cooking. It's Allen, it's Will Norton in the 22, it's Brandon McKissick in the 15. They are carving their way through the field, and it looks like maybe if they can keep this up, maybe gather some support, they may have a chance to dethrone P.J. Evans at the front. Looks like they picked up another. It's the 14 of Blake McCandless, STN's very own. Now Ben Nelson's going to pull to the outside. Got to wonder if maybe the 17 of Jesse Atchison, and when they get to him, he may pull out and join them like we saw earlier when he got pushed to the front by Ben Nelson. So it's about that time where the anticipation is starting to build up a little bit. Here comes Liam Brotherton. He's going to pick up that outside line, and they are inside the top 10. Here's Atchison to the outside. Things are cooking here at the front at Talladega.
Yeah, and there we go. We got Logan. He's taking the outside as well. We're getting a lot of. Now we're finally falling back into that 2x2. Unfortunately, 28's blinking, so not a lot of cars behind. Oh, Jesse and Logan, they make a little contact, but he's getting a nice push from Jesse as they meet up side by side with PJ and Brandon here as we approach turn 4.
And PJ almost got turned by Brandon trying to give him some help. Almost didn't help him. Almost killed him, really. Same with the 2 and the 17. They are all pushing like mad. The problem is one wrong bump is all it takes for the entire pack to fall apart. Logan Kress is clear to the lead, and I don't think he led that lap. I think Atchison beat him out barely. Here they go back to turn 1. Atchison clear down low. That's going to allow Brotherton to come down low, and that's going to leave Jeremy Allen to lead the outside line. Only 4 trucks remain up there.
Yeah, that was a very, very nice push by all of them. And then we got Logan. He's falling back out on the outside. He's got Jeremy right behind him, and they're pushing. Jeremy's pushing Logan as they're getting right side by Liam and Jesse as they approach turn 4. But I think it's actually might be enough here if they can keep the speed going. Logan's going to pass Jesse, and 3 might fall back into line here after the push, but we're starting to see a little bit more.
Whoa, don't even think about it. Oh, my gosh. I thought Logan Kress was going to wipe out the whole field. That got way too close. And he still didn't lead that lap. It was Jeremy Allen who got shoved by Will Norton. Logan Kress, I think, scared everybody in the outside line, and now they want to get him out of the way. Lap traffic ahead. It's the 10 of Justin Knobloch, who lost the draft after the green flag pit stops. He's going to pull up to the outside wall, and everybody's going to get by without a problem because nobody's double wide except for the top 10.
Yeah, and then we got Jeremy on the outside. He's getting pushed.
Yep, he's clear.
15.
And Will Norton now leading the charge on the outside line. You got McKissick there on the outside line trying to work together. Ben Nelson up there as well in that 32 truck trying to make something happen. But right now, it's all Jeremy Allen in the 3.
And 15's got a little bit here, a small bit of wing damage and bumper damage. I'm not too sure if he got bumped a little too hard on one of those bump drafts, as we see Will scooting on by Jeremy here, but I don't think it's going to be enough as Jeremy pushes ahead of Will. And we got Jeremy, Will, Logan, and Brandon here keeping it top 4. And Jesse's right back there at 5th. And you know he wants that spot back after a move like that. And just getting cut off a little bit by Logan, too. A little bit of a dangerous move. And I thought we were going to see that exact same wreck as you were getting ready to call it. I heard you coming in, but they held it together here as we approach the end of turn 4. And we're about to hit 49 laps in the books here.
We're almost at halfway as McKissick pulls to the bottom, almost turned the 2 of Logan Kress. That got scary off corner exit, but Jeremy Allen's going to lead another lap, and we are 1 lap away from halfway here at Talladega.
I mean, I honestly thought we were going to see a little bit more of a big one as he got a little loose with 22 and 2, but they're starting to keep it really, really nice and smooth together here as we approach our back straightaway here as we are about to close it down to the halfway point of our race.
So Will Norton pretty much getting stuck on the high side, although there is room on the inside if he wants it. He'll take it, and we are back to single file. Pretty much all the way through. Got some double wide towards the back. Santiago Tires. No, that's not Santiago. Oh, no, it is. It is Santiago Tires leading the charge with Nicholas Shelton back there. And a couple of others will climb. But we are at officially the halfway point in this race. And as we cross the halfway point of tonight's race, it's time to bring you the iRacing Midway Race Break, brought to you by iRacing. iRacing, the world's premier online racing game. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat to experience today's newest form of competitive motorsport, virtual racing, all from your home PC. Race virtually in Australian supercars, IndyCar, IMSA, NASCAR, the World of Outlaws, and more. Jeremy Allen is your race leader in the 3 truck. Then you've got Logan Kress in 2nd, Ben Nelson in 3rd, Will Norton is in the 4th spot, Brandon McKissick has slid up to 5th, Jesse Atchison 6th, Liam Brotherton 7th, PJ Evan 8th, Brandon Hoff 9th, Jacob Harbert's 10th, and don't look now, but here comes another outside pack for you here, Hex.
Yeah, we got Christian right here at 11th, Justin Levine at, Justin Levine, he fell way back there, We actually got Daniel Smallwood at the 11th, Blake at the 12th spot, Christian at the 13th, Santiago at 14th, Justin Levine at the 15th, Nicholas Shelton 16th, Lucas Cram at 17th, Tim Sozio at 18th, Connor Horn at 19th, and then we got Kyle here at the 20th spot.
It's actually Adam Gittelin in the 20th spot right now, then Kyle Myers 21st, Trevor Perry 22nd, Corey Carpenter 23rd, Matt Adams 24th, Colin Bowden 25th, Will Klein 26th, Landon Huffman 27th, Michael Guerrilla, your winner at Atlanta a few weeks ago, almost a month ago now, he's 28th, Caden Honeycutt 29th, Omar Diallo 30th, Garrison Hogan 31st, Will Cooley 32nd, Jesse Swartz 33rd, Brian Smith 34th, Justin Knobloch rounding out the grid 35th, one lap down. And this concludes tonight's iRacing Midway race break with over 170,000 drivers on the service and over 90 laser scan tracks and cars to choose from. iRacing is your portal to the racing world. Get on track today at iRacing.com. And we've got a cluster here at the front. Here comes the 23 of Liam Brotherton storming up the outside with Harberts. He's got Daniel Smallwood up there. McCandless has also made his way to the front. He pulls to the inside line. Santiago Tires, Nicholas Shelton, they're making the charge on the outside line just behind Smallwood.
Yeah, they are. And then we still got the number 8 car. We got Nicholas. He's still hanging on that outside line. Maybe Jesse will come up and follow him as he's still got PJ right behind him and Brandon not too far back. But as they're getting a little bit more aggressive here after the halfway point, we're seeing lots of more two wide outside line cars coming in. Maybe
oh boy,
Logan coming in
Logan
on that 23.
He made a last-ditch effort, blew by Jeremy Allen. He's going to get shoved down the back straightaway, almost got turned by Brotherton, and it's going to be Logan Kress winding up in the lead.
Yep, and he's fighting really hard for these positions, and the gentleman's been all over the field tonight. And coming out of turn 4, we still got Jeremy Allen and Logan up there, and we got 21 right side by side. We got Jacob next to Logan. He's got Daniel right behind him as well, and I believe Jacob's going to take this lead lap here by just a little. Yep, 51.044. That's actually his fastest lap tonight as he was able to grab that lead lap. As we exit out of turn 2 here, we got Jacob at the front and Logan right behind him, and Daniel Leopold a little bit behind. Hopefully 19 can get a bump from the 8 here as they keep the draft up, and there it goes. There's a little bit of a bump, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I think it's too little too late as we approach the entry to turn 3 here.
Yeah, the outside line's dead. Daniel Smallwood, Nicholas Shelton, they're going to do everything they can to try and salvage it. But the outside line, as we know it, is dead. They're going to bury it here in a couple of moments, I think. And, yeah, it's gone. Until we see a couple of guys in the back come together and plow their way up to the front like we've seen a couple of times so far. I don't think it's really going to be as prominent at the front, but you never know. They're kind of hanging around that second, third spot. Logan Kress can't hold the bottom. Slides up a little bit. Now he gets back to the bottom as we are at 45 laps to go. Smallwood not done yet, but I think Harberts is pretty much just going to put this thing away here down the back straightaway.
Yeah, I see Shelton and, excuse me, the 19, the number 8 car. They're getting a little bit faster. They're coming right around the down stretch, but I don't think it's going to be enough again. I saw 19 was thinking about coming in on the 23 just a moment ago, but he decided to stay on the outside as they get side by side here. Coming down, maybe we can see a little bit more of a side draft. And again, 19 is going to grab that lead lap, it looks like, right out of Jacob's hands as we approach in the entry. Yet there he goes. You just grabbed it right out of Jacob's hands once again as we come into turn 1. And you got to start wondering, maybe taking that inside line here will probably do you more good than it will harm you. But I think 8 and 19 are really committed to it as they come back down the stretch. 8's bumping 19. Maybe this time will be it. Maybe this will finally be enough speed to get him up there. And I think 2 caught the message as he pushes 21 safely away from the 19 and 8.
Shelton's just going to pull to the inside. He's had enough of this charade. He's going to leave Smallwood out to dry. Smallwood's going to pull right in line into 4th. And we're back to the conga line on the bottom of the racetrack as we are closing in on more green flag pit stops. It'll be in a couple of laps. We're getting close to it. 57 laps complete here at start finish, and we are back to single file all the way around the racetrack.
Yep, I mean, around lap 64, I believe we said earlier, when these drivers are going to have to pit back in here and get some tires, or excuse me, some fuel and tires. And I mean, with this single file race, it's pretty much going to be just like this. I don't see any drivers making any more moves here as we keep it nice and straight uniform. As we approach turn 3, we still got Jacob in the front, Logan right behind him, Nicholas, Daniel, and Liam, our top 5 racers, as we are about to close lap 58 in the book here.
Let's take a look at what's coming up next after tonight's race here on STN. Tomorrow night, FTF Saturday Night Series, except it's on Friday, presented by STN. Season finale here at Talladega. It's tomorrow night, 9 o'clock. Then, Saturday, FTF Grand National Series, presented by Bar Visuals. Guess where? Talladega. Saturday, 10 o'clock Eastern Time. Then on Monday, Four Corners Racing League. Guess where they're racing? Talladega. That's Monday, April 26th, 8:15 p.m. right here on STN Racing. We are back with Road to Pro, the eNASCAR Road to Pro Qualifying iRacing Series second split. We are back in 2 weeks. That is May 6th, I believe. Yes, May 6th at Darlington. A completely different racetrack than this place. And speaking of STN, here's STN's own Blake McCandless storming up the outside line, trying to take the lead away.
Yeah, I saw them coming around down the backstretch, 14-11. Maybe it'll be just enough for 11 to fall in front here of the number 8 car, but I don't think that Santiago is going to be able to get in front of Nicholas here as we approach turn 1. I mean, he's got the space now, but I don't think he's going to take it. I think he's still going to commit to that high outside line with Blake, as maybe they start, nope, never mind. He falls right in front of Nicholas. He's just going to leave Blake out there to drive. As Blake falls right back in, we're right back to single file racing, but we now got new top 3 with Jacob, Logan, and Blake. And Santiago, he started this race at 12th, and he found himself all the way a little bit back more near the midfield, but he's up here at 4th. But if we want to talk more about racers who start up high and are now down low, we got Omar and Garrison. Omar started here 4th. He's back at 29th. And then we got Garrison. He started 2nd, and he's all the way back here at 30th.
And just like that, we're back to the single file Conga line. And, well, McCandless wasn't too far back, and here he goes. He wants to make moves. He's tired of waiting around. He doesn't care the green flag pit stops are just around the corner. He's going to go all the way, trying to make for the lead. If he can just get another truck to help him, Tires thought about it. He's thinking he doesn't have a run, so him going up to the top isn't going to be worth much. But McCandless hanging in there on the outside of Harberts down the backstretch.
I think Santiago's hearing his call for help as he comes to the outside line, but it's too little too late, as Jacob and Logan are going to be able to break away from this, but maybe he'll actually commit this lap around here. We close around 61 in our books here as we get ready to go into 62, but I'm thinking maybe we'll see a few cars pit here, get that fuel a little bit earlier, then maybe cross their fingers for yellow flag caution after this second initial green flag pit stop. But unless we get it pretty shortly here, I don't think we're going to see a caution. Maybe when they all start falling in and grabbing fuel and tires, maybe we'll see a caution, a little bit of slamming into each other, but I don't think we're going to get one here. So it's really who's going to exit here first, get their fuel, get back out there as soon as they possibly can as we exit out of turn 2 here on the backstretch.
I think these guys are going to wait until the last possible second, because remember, fuel mileage, 36 to 40 laps. Some of these guys only made it 32 laps that first time around. They need to make it 36 at least. And that's on lap 64. If they pit earlier, they're going to have to really stretch it. So they're going to have to make it to lap 64 if they want to have a chance to make it even without a caution flag. Meanwhile, Blake McCandless, Santiago Tires have taken the lead. Harberts falls to 3rd, and Blake McCandless, he's out in front for the first time tonight. He finished 2nd back at Atlanta. He finished 3rd at Richmond 2 weeks ago, and he's going to try and get the top spot on the podium this time around. But don't look now. Here comes Corey Carpenter. He's flying. He's got Adam Gilliland up his rear. Santiago Tires is going to try and block. They're going to go 3 wide for the lead for the first time tonight. And see ya, boys. Corey Carpenter is your race leader with Santiago Tires now in 3rd. Adam Gilliland 2nd. Here comes the 3, Jeremy Allen. He's a little late to the party, but he's going to try and make something happen.
Yeah, I think Jeremy saw them going 3 wide, and he really wanted to join in there, but it was too late as we saw Santiago trying to block, but maybe he could catch a side draft here. Maybe they'll go high again, but I don't think that's going to happen as we see him approaching up near behind Adams and Corey, but I don't think Jeremy's got the move. He may be able to fall back here in the 11 if he lets up a bit, but he's just going to fall back.
We got more help. Here comes Tim Sozio and Connor Horn flying around the outside line. They're going to try and do what Carpenter and Gilliland just did. Here comes Therese. He's going to squeeze to the outside line and get in front of the 3 of Jeremy Allen. So now we've got 4 trucks on the outside line. Never mind, Sozio leaves them. He squeezes in on the bottom and almost gets turned doing it. But here comes Therese. Therese trying to be the second driver, the first repeat winner in second split this season. Here he comes around the outside through 3 and 4. He's not quite clear. He's close, though. Now he is as they head to the tri-oval. He's going to pull to the inside and retake the lead.
Yeah, and 11 here is going to grab oh, no, never mind. It's going to be Jeremy. Beats him by just a little bit of a hair. He grabs the lead lap, and Connor's right behind him, giving a little bit of a push as they come out of turn 1 and into turn 2's exit. And we're going to probably start seeing drivers pitting here as they start falling back into single file because we are on lap 64. Like we said earlier, they're going to need to grab that fuel at this lap if they want to make it to the end of this race as soon as possible. So we're probably going to see Jeremy and Connor stay out there, but I have a feeling we'll probably see Blake, Sozio, Jacob, and Logan.
Well, here we go. We do have people coming in this time. PJ Evans has said he's coming in. We'll watch and see who else comes in. It's just going to be Evans, and it's going to be the 2 of Logan Kress. And that is that. That was kind of underwhelming. I expected a lot more to pit. But look at this gaggle back here, back behind 20th spot. Side by side, almost 3 wide. These guys are all over the place considering they need to pit here shortly.
Yeah, I'm glad you caught it. I was about to call it if you weren't, but but they're getting a little bit more aggressive here. I think a lot of them know that this is going to be their lap to pit and to grab fuel. Otherwise, they're going to have to wait one more lap, and that's going to be the least amount of laps, or the most amount of laps that they can wait before they have to fall back in. As we see 32 and 22 Benjamin.
Now Norton down to the bottom. He's going to try and take the lead. Here comes Atchison on the high side. McKissick is there. We'll see how many people decide to pit this time. It looks like Harberts is going to be the only taker. So now it's McKissick out in front, and they are side by side, 7-8 rows deep with 34 laps to go.
Yeah, I thought we were going to see more cars pit, but they're just staying out there, taking their time as they are down, like you said, 7 rows back, 2 by 2. We got Brandon out here with Jesse and Benjamin and Matt. But I don't think we're going to see much of anything else here as they are still fighting pretty good out there, all things considered, as we are on lap 67. But I think now we're going to see everybody fall in. Hopefully I don't eat my words again.
Now clear for speed. Jeremy Allen coming in this time. He's the 3, P8, on the inside. We're going to see the 3 pull off. And a couple of trucks in the back. Nobody really up towards the front. Lucas Cram says he was coming in that this time by. We keep plowing forward as it's Atchison and McKissick out in front. Matt Adams leading the charge on the outside line. And you got to think these guys still think they can make it pretty far if they're still riding around the outside line.
Yeah, I mean, they've been making the moves pretty well here, but I think 12's going to try to fall back in, but 11, he's trying to get close to that gap, so 12 can't fall back in. Maybe get him behind him on this back stretch.
And I think the floodgates are going to open this time. A lot of people coming out of the radio saying they're pitting. Knobloch, McKissick, McCandless, Will Norton. Yeah, so here we go. This is going to be the money stop as they come off turn 4. About half the pack, maybe a little less than half, is going to pull off down to the apron. Santiago Tires, McCandless. You've got more. You got cars locking it up. Everybody makes it through just fine. Daniel Smallwood in, Knobloch, Sozio, Bowden, Adam Gilliland, and more. Jesse Atchison says he's coming in this time by your race leader. Liam Brotherton says he's coming in, so this is going to be the rest of the pack coming in this time by, and I think these guys here that are pitting, they should maybe be able to make it. It's going to be very close.
It is going to be very, very close here. as we see a lot of them just fall in single file. As I said over the radio, a lot of these drivers will be pitting in here. Hopefully they'll be able to get in cleanly and get out just as clean as we start to get closer and closer to that pit entrance here. And we got Jesse falling in with Matt, Benjamin, Connor, and I believe we got Michael.
Spreading out all over the place. Everybody's going to make it just fine. Whew. I can't believe that nobody has died trying to make a green flag pit stop today.
Yeah, no, these drivers
2 for 2 on the day.
They are keeping it very, very nice with all these pit entries. I think we're going to get a full green 100 here tonight.
I don't know about that. We've got a long way to go.
I mean, we got about 32 to go here.
They should be able to make it. They should be able to make it here to the end, most of these guys at least. But, I mean, come on. It's Talladega. You're going to have people block, make stupid decisions, and it's going to cost them big time. Right now, Will Norton is your unofficial race leader. It depends on when they get to everybody else, as most of the leaders now, currently, are on the apron through 1 and 2. Jesse Atchison is currently scored as the race leader. We saw what happened before, where we got out in front trying to block and got eaten up by the rest of the pack. This time, he's got help. He's got Ben Nelson, Connor Horn, and Matt Adams. Here comes Norton, who is currently leading the up-to-speed pack. They're going to pull to the middle line, and they're going to pretty much blow right by them. Bam, 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 bam. New leader, Will Norton.
Yeah, but I'm willing to put money down on that. I think we're going to get green 100 all the way through here as we are about to shut lap 70 down here. As we got about 31 here left to go. We see a lot of good lead changes, lots of good moves, and a lot of more too wide racing than I thought we were going to get here tonight. I thought it was just going to be a lot more single file racing as we saw earlier today, but these drivers, they don't have a lot of time left. If they want to start making those moves, I think now would be the time to find your buddy out there who's going to bump you, who's going to get out there and hopefully take away the flag tonight.
This is probably the busiest we've seen this pack all race long. Side by side, multiple rows deep, got a couple of 3 wides at the back. You've got Justin Levine, you've got Logan Kress making the third line up by the wall. We'll see if that can gain any traction, but right now, this is the tightest we have seen this pack wound together. Coming to 29 laps to go. Jesse Atchison, your leader. Will Norton in second. You got more people jumping up to that third line, and we are probably going to be 3 by 3, about 4 or 5 rows deep as they come through turn 1. This is going to be chaotic.
Let's see if they can hold it green here as they're making their way up to the leaders. We still got 3 wide all the way back to row 5. Another 4 rows deep, but we still got, we got Matt up here with Justin. Matt's going to be able to fall back inside, and Justin's taking that second lane line, and Logan's just kind of out there to dry right now as they still keep it 3 wide. We got 3 rows of 3 wide back here, or up front here, and I believe they're going 3 wide as well in the back there for a little bit, but not too long, as we get Justin and Matt, Logan, and Will as our top 4 as we cross the line here. 29 to go here at Talladega. The sun's starting to set.
Make it 28 to go. Matt Adams out in front. Justin Levine leading the middle line. Logan Kress leading the outside line. It is a cluster of trucks, a collection of trucks, if you will, here coming off turn number 2. Thankfully, they're not wadding them up. Everybody's still good. The top line pretty much reduced to rubble. It's just Kress and Brotherton right now. We'll see if they can regroup and try again later. It's Matt Adams and Justin Levine side by side for the race lead. I think some people kind of pulled out of the line and decided maybe it's not time to go quite yet. They saw what was happening and they decided to hang out for a little bit longer.
Yeah, I think that was maybe more of much more of a bigger move if they could have gotten more help, but we see Logan, he was up there fighting around the 5th and 6th spot. Now he's falling back down to 14th as we got side by side 2 wide racing again here coming down the back stretch. I believe Jesse, he was actually able to make it all the way back up to the 2nd and 3rd spot as he was way back there before our second pit green.
through 3 and 4. It's still Matt Adams leading the charge here at Talladega with Levine, Atchison, Will Norton, Ben Nelson, your top 5. We are coming to 26 laps to go.
And as we got 26 laps to go, Jacob, who do you think is going to take the checker flag here tonight? I would really, really like to see Jesse walk away with a win here tonight.
I'm going to say anybody from 33rd on, just because there are 33 trucks on the lead lap. I'm not going to rule out Caden Honeycutt in 34th or Justin Knobloch in 35th, just because there's still a chance we get 2 cautions and they get back on the lead lap. I think anybody has a chance to win this race as long as they don't start or get involved in any wrecks that we have. The 9 has looked strong since the drop of the green flag. Same with the 11, same with the 17. And we could see somebody fly from the back of the pack up to the front like we've seen numerous times on that last green flag stint. That could cause some headaches for these guys up at the front right now. I really think 25 laps to go that anybody on the racetrack right now has a chance to win this race.
Good answer, my friend. Couldn't agree with you more. But we still got Justin, Matt, Wilson, and Jesse here up on the top 4 spot. And we got Benjamin holding down that 5 spot with Brandon right next to him in the 15, Connor right behind him, Santiago in the 11th, Liam in the 9th, and Kyle in the 10th spot. That is our top 10 here as we reach 3/4 of our race. 25 to go, about to be 24 as we exit out of turn 4. We're on the back stretch and we got,
oh my,
ooh, that was one.
Atchison. I don't know how he had enough room to make that move. He almost blew the whole field apart, but instead he's going to take the lead.
Yes, he is. That was one nice move, but maybe a little too risky for that point in the race, but it worked out for him. He didn't wreck the pack, and everybody just kind of fell back in as soon as he made that move. But he's been an aggressive driver tonight, making very, very close moves tonight.
Still side by side between Atchison and Levine, as it's pretty much knotted up here at the front, kind of like it was before that move was made. You have a third line starting to brew once again, and more trucks are jumping into that third lane, trying to pick up a run. Liam Brotherton starting to lead the charge. Adam Gilliland up there. You've got Guerrilla. Oh my goodness, Adam Gilliland almost turned that 23. Here comes Santiago Tires to make it 3 wide up on the high side. They are not quitting yet. 23 laps to go.
Man, they are keeping it 3 wide here with 4 rows deep outside of turn 1. We're going to get 3 wide here on the back stretch. And we got the 11 car pushing up. Oh, 23 gets a little side. He hits the wall, but he holds it.
Guerrilla hit the brakes. He wanted the hell out of town, and he got out of town. Santiago Tires, he would have been fine. The 23 of Liam Brotherton, I don't think so. Not so much. That got very scary very quick. It's still Jesse Atchison out in front. And I was going to mention before that stack up happened that I think the most dangerous part of this point in the race and here from the checkered flag is going to be blocking. Blocking, we've seen it go wrong way too many times. Somebody tries to get in front of somebody else that's carrying too much speed. They're not going to lift because we're inside or inside 25 to go. They're going to hit you in the back end, get you sideways. You can't corral it. You hit a car or truck next to you, and there it goes. We've got lap traffic ahead. It's Tim Sozio, believe it or not, in the 33. He is going 171 miles an hour on the inside of the racetrack, and the rest of the field is screaming towards him 15 mile an hour faster. He's just going to pull onto the apron, and oh, good grief, I hope he can hold it there in the tri-oval.
Yeah, he's able to hold it there. I was about to say we got three wide approaching that lap traffic, but he falls right back in that apron. Nice and smooth. The 23 is giving 11 a little bit of a push. I don't think he's going to have the speed to get past the number 9, Justin here, as Justin, Levine, and Atchison break away from the pack, but they're still holding that 3 wide three rows deep, excuse me, as we approach the back stretch, but they're starting to get a little more aggressive, start pushing more drivers, saying, hey, now's the time, we gotta get faster now, we gotta go, the move is now.
Coming to 20 laps to go. and I don't know if you at home that are watching this right now are feeling the anxiety build, but I know me sitting here watching this, heart rate starting to go up a little bit. It's starting to get tense here at the front, just because you don't know if or when that big one's going to happen, who it's going to come from, what move could trigger an accident. But at this point, the bottom two lines are king. Justin Levine in the 9, Jesse Atchison in the 17. They are currently the two fighting for this win. Santiago Tires on the outside trying to be a spoiler. Here comes Will Norton. He pulls to the outside from the middle. 3 wide once again for the lead. Atchison with a big run on the bottom. Still 3 wide. The 9, he's going to fall back. The 22 is going to pull to the inside. 1,000 IQ move by Will Norton to pull into second spot.
Oh, here we go. We got Will Norton taking over Jesse here. Levine is going to give Norton a push. He's going to able to fall inside that inside line. And 6 getting a little bit faster.
Well, but he lost the momentum. Him changing lines, he lost his momentum. Levine's going to have the same problem, and that's going to pretty much put McKissick in the best spot right now, in the middle with help from Adam Gilliland. So, I mean, Levine saw it not work for Norton. We've seen it not work multiple times where you move to the inside and you just can't go anywhere. And then the middle line winds up being the strongest spot on the racetrack. Here comes McKissick with a great run. You've got Tires and Brotherton kind of falling back in that outside line way up by the wall. I don't know where Will Cooley came from, but he's in the center of this. Same with the 35 of Jesse Swartz. I don't think I've said those names at all this afternoon. And here they are fighting for the race win, right in the thick of it with McKissick and Levine side by side as we are coming to 18 laps to go.
No, you are absolutely right. We haven't been able to see that name once. That's actually the first time I've seen his car all the way up here. We're getting 3 wide, 3 rows deep as we get into turn 2. And you got to wonder, is Justin going to be able to hold that inside line? Because like you commented earlier, once you get inside, you got nowhere to go. And there they go. 15-11, get right by him. It's 23 and 6. Give them both a little bit of a push. 15 falls down on the inside line, and 11 is right there in the middle. As 9.
I thought McKissick got turned. I honestly thought McKissick got turned. I don't know how he held onto that thing. Levine going to go back to the middle. He's going to try this once again. He wants to stay out in front. Santiago Tires, he has moved to the middle line as well. And that's going to leave Brotherton to lead the outside line. We're coming to 17 laps to go. The outside line is pretty much a shadow of its former self right now, as now a couple more trucks move up to that outside line to help Brotherton.
Yeah,
with Levine in the middle and McKissick down low. McKissick has rear end damage, and he's had it for a while. I'm not sure where it came from, but obviously he got hit hard enough in the rear that he has damage. Adam Gilliland slides up the racetrack. He's going to lead the outside line. McKissick got pushed a little sideways there by Will Norton. Justin Levine is clear. Oh, my. And the inside line's going to have to check up.
Yes, they are, as we start to make our way out of turn 4. I think we're starting to see the calm before the storm. Well, not really much of a calm. We've seen a really couple of
this is the storm.
This is the storm? This is the storm, you say? All right. But as we got Justin, we got Brandon McKissick right behind him. We got 11, 6, 23 giving that 6 a little push. It's gonna be just enough as we get into turn 1. He's gonna be able to side draft, but they fall back behind. Justin Levine still holding on to that inside line. He wants it tonight. I think he's gonna walk away here unless they start pushing a little bit more. As that 11 car gets a help from 1, and 15's trying to get 9 out there, but he gets a little loose with the bump.
Our producer chiming in with this analogy quite well. Tornado sirens are sounding at this point. I agree. This is the get to the basement and get the valuables, because at this point, I don't think the house is going to be standing by the time this thing's said and done. You're coming to 15 laps to go. If this pack can somehow stay alive for 15 more laps, I think this is going to take years off my life if they don't start wadding them up here. Tires leads. He's not clear either way. He's going to have to hang in the middle line for now. He's still not clear down low. He's got enough room to clear up high, but I'm sure he doesn't want to go up there in front of Adam Gilliland. Here comes Levied. He's got the run on the inside. He's going to be clear, I think, for a moment here off of turn 2. Now not so much. And Tires with a run from the middle. Help from Will Cooley. We go on board. Now we're not. Down back straight away. We keep on chugging. We're 3 wide. Here comes Gilliland on the high side. 3 wide. 5. Make it 6 rows deep. Almost 7 rows deep here at Talladega. This is fun stuff.
Yes, it is. This is finally what we were looking for here tonight. As drivers are starting to get more aggressive, as time is running out for a lot of these drivers. So we're going to see more and more pushes like these. And I think we're still going to be able to hold the green. I'm really, really hoping that we're still going to be able to hold the green here for a lot of these drivers. As Justin's starting to find some competition with Santiago and Will right behind Santiago, but he's still got Brandon to help push him out in front once they start going down the back stretch here. And we'll see if any more moves happen here. We got 6 and 23. They've been pushing each other all night tonight after our second pit stop, but he almost gets into the wall with that push. It was maybe just a little too hard.
2001 spring race here at this racetrack in the Cup Series. That is the only knowledgeable point in my mind, at least, that I can think of a race going flag to flag with no caution in the current pack setting. I don't know how they made it in that race, because they were all over the place. Of course, the next year they tore up about every car in the field in 2 different races on the back straightaway. So it's certainly not unheard of for big wrecks, but believe it or not, by some miracle, they were able to make it 188 laps around this place without a caution. 188 laps caution free. I don't know what those drivers were on that day to avoid making contact, but I'd love to know what it is, and I wonder if these guys are on it. We've got 12 and a half laps to go, and we are still 3 wide for the lead.
Yeah, maybe they were all just on the same radio that day. They were able to keep each other nice and in communication that day. Who knows? But Justin started to break away from the pack. Still getting a little bit of a shove, but I'm going to fall back into the middle here because it's getting a little bit more aggressive back here, too. 32 and 27 get a little wobbly as they push each other.
We're 4 wide. Liam Brotherton just got shuffled out of the way. We're 4 wide for third as they come through turn 1. This is chaotic stuff. We've got 12 laps to go. Brotherton really has nowhere to go. He's going to pull him to line right now. So we're done with the 4 wide warning. Here they come down the back straightaway. Everybody kind of accordions together towards the middle of the racetrack, and now they spread out. Back to the outside wall, back to the line on the inside of the racetrack. Adam Gilliland is taking the lead. He is not clear of anybody. Tires wasn't clear of anybody. This is chaotic right now as they come through 3 and 4. Gilliland's going to fall back. We were caution-free at Las Vegas. Just a reminder, we had that caution at Atlanta, that 1 caution late at Atlanta, and then we had, I think, 6 cautions, a few at Richmond 2 weeks ago. But it's not unheard of for us to go caution-free. I don't know if we're going to make it. I don't think we will. We've got 11 laps to go. This is a lot wilder than Las Vegas ever will be. Off of 2.
I'm still telling you, Chase, we're going green to green here tonight. You can mark my words on that. No commentator's curse here tonight. We're going green to green. All 100 as we still have them 3 wide on the back stretch here. But 34, number 2, they're making the moves up. Maybe we can see a little bit more, but 35 is kind of swaying in and out there on the upper line here, right behind the number 2 car. And they're starting to get more and more aggressive as time is going on, as we are about to get 10 to go here.
10 laps to go at Talladega. And this is the point where if you turn off this race right now, I think there's something wrong with you because you're going to miss probably the best part of this race. Justin Levine, Santiago Tires still fighting for the win. Adam Gilliland trying to lead the outside line, that third line up at the top of the track. Everybody else is gridlocked, just trying to push as hard as they can to get somebody out in front.
And here they go. They're making the moves. They're pushing them out
Gilliland, what a move.
Yep.
Adam Gilliland to the front.
Adam's right there. He cut off Justin. He was able to fall back in on that inside line. And then we got Justin Levine, Santiago right behind him as well. They're still holding that 3 wide very, very well here. We haven't seen a lot of side-by-side or door banging here, but man, 9 down to go as they cross the line here and entering into turn 1. And you gotta think, is it gonna happen tonight? But in my thoughts, I'm thinking no. I'm thinking they're still gonna be able to hold this very, very well as they approach the exit of turn 2. We got a little bit of
oh my goodness, Kyle Myers. He just slid up the racetrack. Where is Gilliland going? Comes back up on the racetrack in front of Levine. That's going to stack everybody up. Here comes Tires with a run up the middle. Kyle Myers now the face of the outside line. And this is absolute madness. Still 3 wide. It's pretty much from third on back that we're stuck 3 wide the whole way through the rest of the field. They are still bottled up. Here comes Tires up the middle. Now Myers with a big run on the high side. And that 18 truck. They are 3 by 3 wide for the lead, and it's going to be Tires at the line barely. Back to turn 1. This is unbelievable. We've got 8 laps to go. We've got a lot of folks that have a chance to win, and if we have any contact here at the front, all of that is going to go up in smoke.
I believe the only contact we'll get at the front is maybe on the last lap when we go white flag, when people really start trying to find those gaps that aren't there, and maybe we'll see that wreck. But again, they're still holding it very, very well. 35-2, they've worked their way up. It's very good to see Jesse Schwartz back up here in the 9th slot, the number 35 car, as they start coming down the front stretch, as we have now are approaching our 7 to go marker here.
Oh boy, oh my goodness, where is Logan Kress going? All over the place on the outside, but Kyle Myers led that lap in that 18 truck. This is unbelievable. We're still 3 wide, 7, 8, maybe 9 rows deep. The outside line falls back for a moment. It's going to accordion. It'll get back together as long as they don't wreck. Logan Kress got a little bottled up there. Second car on the outside line in the 2. Here comes Will Cooley. Moves up in front of Kyle Myers. He's got a big run. They are flying up here on the high side. They've got a shot. Cooley's going to come down in front of Tires. He's not clear. They make contact. Everybody checks up. Will Cooley's going to hang up on that middle line. I can't believe they didn't die, and they're still 3 wide.
You know, as a commentator, the worst thing you can do is hold your breath because you got to keep going. But here, it's getting a little too excited. I don't even want to say anything. As we have Will taking the lead lap here with 6 to go as they enter turn 1, and now, I thought Kyle...
Where'd the bottom line go? I can't believe Will Cooley didn't come to the bottom.
Yeah,
here comes Gilliland. Big run. Oh, go. Will Cooley into the wall. Up and over Kyle Myers. It's the big one. The 27 hard into the inside wall. Back up into the 28. The big one on the back straightaway. Upside down goes the 1 of Will Cooley and the 18 of Kyle Myers. It's the big wreck with 6 laps to go.
If you'll excuse me, I got some money to go give STN Racing.
We'll have to take a look at the replay, but it all stemmed from the inside line with the 6 of Adam Gilliland and the 9 of Justin Levine.
Man, I thought they were going to be able to hold it one last time there, but as they were getting up, 6 makes contact with 1, then 1 just makes contact with 18, and he does a barrel roll and catches air, and unfortunately, we got our big one here tonight.
The 19, Daniel Smallwood, he got a piece of it as well. The 3 of Jeremy Allen, he got involved. See if we can get another angle here. Just so it's not the side of a truck. Here we go. You're going to see the 6. He gets a bump from the 9, moves up the racetrack. He's not clear with Cooley. He survives. The 18 of Kyle Myers, he definitely does not. He rolls over. Thankfully, didn't get hit again while he was on his roof. But it really all stacked up From there, they all came down. The 35 gets a piece of it. The 1927, Matt Adams, hard into the inside wall, collected Christian Peterson. The 35 of Jesse Swartz involved. Really, this crash was not as big as it could have been.
Yeah,
All things considered, I think that was only about 10 trucks at the most. So we got through that pretty okay.
Yeah, we did. I was expecting more like when you see somebody catch error, it's hard to avoid because with the way that the iRacing physics system works, they may bounce one way on somebody else's set of eyes, but bounce a different way or blink, and they won't even know that they're in the air. Then once they come back down and they blink in front of you, it's all said and done. But we only got about 6 cars in pit road here after that accident, and 2's gonna pit here as well. I don't know if he caught any damage off of that or if he's just getting some new tires and just a touch of fuel, but we are 97 as we cross the line here under caution. 97 out of 100.
Yeah, I think this may be not overtime, but a green-white checkered, if that makes sense. I think we should get 1 to green this time by, which will be with 3 laps to go, and then we're going to restart with 2 laps to go. So I believe this will be an unofficial green-white checker, a natural green-white checker, if you will. We are not going to overtime yet. Now, if we crash before we get to the white flag, then we start to go into green-white checkers in overtime. If we make the white flag, the next flag ends the race. So that could have been our only caution of the night.
I believe it is. I mean, I don't see anything else happening after that one. Man, oh man, I really thought that they were going to stay green 100 all the way through, but I guess when that move was made, I guess he just didn't see him in the mirror and got bumped, or maybe he lost it a little bit when he got bumped.
I think on the last lap, if we make it, we we may see the whole field wreck, as long as it doesn't turn into the Alabama 500 that we covered here on STN. Was that a week, 2 ago? Where the whole field wrecked twice on the green-white checker, and there was 2 cars running at the end coming to the checkered flag. Granted, that was the 87 cars, and that was track blockers, pretty much, those accidents. I think we'll be able to avoid that here and should get a solid finish out of this. The pace car off of turn 4, coming through the tri-oval, and I hope the lights go out on the pace car so we get a natural green-white checker here.
We'll see as they approach the line. I still see his lights on for me here.
Yep. Well, remember, you got to do the classic. Remember, the start-finish line is down towards turn number 1, not in the center of the tri-oval like Daytona. Just in case you haven't seen it, the last 97 laps now, pace car crosses the line, and the lights are out. So we will get a natural green-white checker to finish this race here at Talladega.
Yeah, could have missed it by anybody. I mean, it's been 97 laps here. It gets a little lost out there, with all these trucks. But as we are approaching the next turn here, we got Adam at the front, Gilland, Justin Levine here at second in the number 9. We got Santiago Tires in third, and Brandon in fourth, and Corey Carpenter in fifth. That'll be our top 5 on the restart here.
After that, it's Will Norton, Connor Horn, Jesse Atchison, Michael Guerrilla. Remember him? He's still up here. Daniel Smallwood then. Liam Brotherton, Garrison Hogan. Omar Diallo. Remember him? We talked about him with the drop of the green flag. He's back up here again. Colin Bowden, your winner from 2 weeks ago at Richmond. Ben Nelson, Jeremy Allen, Brian Smith, Christian Peterson, Brandon Huff, Landon Huffman, Jacob Harberts, Will Klein, Logan Kress, Trevor Perry, Blake McCandless, PJ Evans, Nicholas Shelton, Lucas Cram, Justin Knobloch, Kyle Myers, Gaden Honeycutt, Jesse Swartz, Matt Adams, Tim Sozio out of the race. Will Cooley is still on pit road 5 minutes after the fact. I don't think he's going to be able to have a shot here, but somehow Kyle Myers is still running. He's 1 lap down, though. Myers, Honeycutt, and Swartz are all 1 lap down. Everybody else is on the lead lap and has a shot to win this race.
Yeah, it's going to be a very, very, very good restart here as we are about to approach the end of turn 4 and on the front straightaway. It's anybody's race after this restart because I have a feeling we're going to be wrecking in 2 laps here after this green-white. As soon as that white flag goes up, I think we'll see another big one here tonight. Pace car is off.
Well, here we go.
Approaching pit road.
Take a deep breath, relax. It's Adam Gilliland and Justin Levine bringing us down to the green flag. This is a natural green and white checker. If we make the white flag, the next flag ends the race. If we crash before then, we get to do this song and dance all over again. Daniel Smallwood did not get going. It's a big stack up in the back of the field. They are 4 wide. They are 5 wide. I don't know how on earth they're going to make it. Logan Crest making passes underneath the double yellow line. I have no idea if that's legal. We've got a lot of wrecked race trucks in the back that are slow and holding up some faster race trucks that aren't. Logan Crest comes back up across the track, almost causes a wreck, but meanwhile, here's the battle for the lead. It's Justin Levine and Adam Gilliland. They are side by side. Then Brandon McKissick third, Santiago Tires fourth. He's on the inside line. Trucks are almost up to full speed as they come through turns 3 and 4. Sorry, I had to take a breath there. Coming to the white flag. This, as long as they can make it here to the white flag, this will be the last restart of the race. Out of turn 4, coming to the white flag. Double wide out in front, 3 wide further back. It looks like we're going to do it, maybe, through the tri-oval. White flag in the wind. We're committed. Next flag ends the race. Justin Levine out in front. He's pretty much been strong up at the front so far. He leads through turns 3 and 4. There is no yellow line rule, just for us to note. Here they come off of turn 2. Adam Gilliland peeking to the inside, trying to move the line at the racetrack a little bit. Remember, he inadvertently caused that last big wreck. Here comes Brandon McKissick in the middle. Contact with him and Will Norton. They saved it. I don't know how, but they kept it straight. Down the back straightaway, still McKissick and Levine. Side by side, we may get a solid photo finish here at Talladega. Logan Crest is sideways. He's able to save it. John Wood slaps the wall. Here they come off turn 4. This is the finish that we've all waited for. It's Justin Levine. It's Brandon McKissick side by side. The eNASCAR Road to Pro Qualifying iRacing Series. The entire pack's going to make it. Here they come. Side by side at the finish line. They crash behind him.
I think the 22 got it.
I'm not sure who got the flag. One car gets space forced into the air, and it's Brandon McKissick by 16 one-thousandths of a second over Will Norton in an incredible last lap here at Talladega.
Man, what a finish here. I can't believe it. When I saw Brandon going sideways after he got bumped by that 9, I thought for sure Will Norton had it, but just barely squeezes it out for a W here tonight at Talladega. Number 15, Brandon McKissick is your winner tonight, folks.
Brandon McKissick. My goodness. McKissick, looking at the top 70 in points, I thought he was in, but I guess not, unless I just skipped over his name. Oh, no, he's definitely in. He's P4 in points right now. I think we need a life check on the 20 truck of Colin Bowden. I don't know how he's still alive. He went up and almost mowed over some fans in the grandstand. Looking here at the replay.
Yeah, he did.
It was contact between the 7 and the 3. He went flying. There was another truck that wound up spaced forced. I think it was the 19. It was a white truck that I saw wound up in the air. Brandon McKissick wound up upside down on the inside of the racetrack after the flag. So your race winner doing some casual breakdancing down on the inside of the racetrack. He goes down, hits the inside wall almost head on with the 9 of Justin Levine. And everybody else, he gets kicked up into the air by the 11 of Santiago Tires. That's what sends him up and over. Yeah, like I mentioned, there was a truck that got space forced up at the top of the track. I'm going to see if I can rewind here and find it in an unbelievable, chaotic last lap. It's pretty much the definition of Talladega, to crash coming to the checkered flag between Talladega and Daytona. Checking the replay, it was the 2. Oh, it was the 2 of Logan Cress who got wedged up in the wall and got absolutely space forced by Jesse Atcherson out of the park. I think we're still waiting for him to land.
No, I don't think I've seen him. I have my binoculars out here, but I don't see anything out there, partner. I
he
can't
gets
see him,
hit
Jake.
back up into the outside wall and then gets punted, and he's gone. In a classic finish here at Talladega, it's Brandon McKissick getting the win. Here's the unofficial results. It's McKissick, then Will Norton in second by about 17 one-thousandths of a second. Justin Levine third. Adam Gitterland winds up fourth. Connor Horn finishes this race fifth. Santiago Tires, your winner from Las Vegas, he finishes sixth. Corey Carpenter seventh. Garrison Hogan finds his way to eighth. Omar Diallo finishes ninth. Jeremy Allen finds his way into a top 10 spot.
And then we got Christian Peterson at 11th, and then Benjamin Wilson at the 12th spot here. And then we got Jesse Atchison at the 13th, Will Klein at 14th, PJ Evans at 15th, Landon Huffman at 16th, Logan Kress at 17th, Brian Smith at 18th, Jacob Havertz at 19th, and last week's winner at Richmond, Colin Bowden at 20th here. We got Blake McCandles at 21st, Nicholas Shelton at 22nd, Brandon Hoff at 23rd, Justin Kinbach at 24th.
Lucas Cram finishes 25th, and Liam Brotherton 26th. Trevor Perry 27th, Michael Guerrilla 28th, Daniel Smallwood way off pace after that last crash, 29th for him. Caden Honeycutt a lap down in 30th, similar for Jesse Swartz in 31st, Kyle Myers 32nd. Will Cooley, Matt Adams, Tim Sozio did not finish 6 laps down here at Talladega. And we've got folks to talk to. And just taking a look at who is sitting and waiting to join us in the booth. Well, we've got race winner, Brandon McKissick. Holy cow. Let's start there. You were able to finish this thing. From our vantage point, we really had no idea who won that race. Did you have any idea that you beat Will Norton there coming to the line?
Yeah, I knew because I was watching my F3 screen. I was just I thought I was going to lose it when I got hooked at the last minute, but thankfully I got hooked and I didn't lose enough time to lose. It was very close, obviously, but when I saw my name that my name stayed in first and didn't drop down, I knew I had it. But I got wrecked right after the line, luckily, and not before it. So.
Now, where did the damage on the back end of the truck come from? Because I saw it earlier on in the race. Didn't comment on it until after that second green flag pit stop. But do you have any idea where that damage came from? It clearly didn't affect it because you were able to drive just fine. But I'm curious where that originated from.
This happened early in the race. After the first pit stop, I had missed my pit stop badly, and I lost the pack entirely. And then Jeremy Allen picked me up, and then he was drafting with me. I didn't get a green text from it, so it wasn't bad, and I had no optional in the pits. But that's when it happened. I thought our race was over when that happened, to be honest, when we fell 10 seconds behind the pack. But we caught up back up to them and played our cards right, and I somehow came out with the win. So.
You guys put on a great show for us tonight. We had that wreck with 6 to go, and then obviously the catastrophe coming to the finish line, which we pretty much expect, I think, at this point. Take us through your point of view because, 94 laps without a caution. Yeah, you had the 2 pit stops, but other than that, you guys were just boogieing the rest of the night.
Yeah, it was an incredibly clean race, and I was pleasantly surprised by that. Most of it involved fuel saving to get us to the end, only pitting twice, and we thankfully played that out very well, so we could go as hard as we wanted to in the last run. It was a wild race for sure. When fuel saving ended, we were 3-4 wide, and we didn't wreck till almost 5 to go, so it was definitely a clean race, and I was just trying to keep myself on the bottom as long as I can to avoid the wreck, which I was able to, and then I was stuck in the middle on the restart, and I knew I was in a good spot to potentially win. But all bets are off, and I was just hoping I wouldn't get bumper hooked or net coated or anything like that. And I was able to survive and come out first, so I was very happy about that.
And before we send you on your way, anybody you want to thank, say hi to?
Oh, for sure. I'd like to thank Nexus Esports, all my friends for supporting me along the way on this game, and I'd like to thank you guys for putting on an incredible broadcast for the series week in and week out.
Congratulations on the win. We will see you in 2 weeks at Darlington, which I'm sure you're looking forward to compared to Talladega. A lot different than this racetrack. Enjoy the win, and coming into today, P4 in the points. Things looking pretty good for you to move on up the ladder here.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm very thankful for the season I'm having so far.
Race winner, Brandon McKissick. Congratulations. Next up, Will Norton, who finished second here, Hex.
Yes, he did. But he started 31st, Will, battling up the pack. What were some of the things and the moves that you were looking for tonight as you were battling up from 31st to second here to finish it off tonight?
Most of the first, second runs were focused on just plain saving fuel, just making sure we get to the end. Our goal was about lap 68, 69 if we could make it to that. I think Jesse made it to that. But once we got there, we were home free to go as hard as we could. So we gained a lot of track. I think late in the second run, we gained a lot of track position. This was after Brandon and I lost the draft at one point. We thought we were done, but I mean, they were saving so hard at the main pack that we pulled them like half a second a lap. So we got there and then blasted by them and got to the front, saved some more. And yeah, once we did our final pit stop and made sure we were up front, we knew to just kind of go where the pack took us and try to avoid the wreck.
Yeah, that was some pretty good playing by you and your team here tonight, but 1/100th of a second you lost it by tonight. And I gotta say, I thought you won that when they started crashing down near the finish line. From my point of view, I thought you had crossed before Brandon did here tonight. But as we were looking deeper and deeper into the races, we saw more drivers getting more aggressive and 3 wide, more towards the 70th and the 75th mark of the lap. What was it like down there?
It was chaos. Just I think we were in the middle for a bit, and eventually I found a clearing when Santi got a run up high, so I pulled out and got in front of him, cleared Levine, and got to the front. But I think that's kind of the straw that broke the camel's back. Everybody started really doing that after that, so I was down at the bottom, Brandon got to the bottom, and then everybody was just trying to clear, so I got shuffled back, probably 5th truck in line. It was very tough. You kind of just had to sit there and either hope for the wreck so that you can get good track position for the end, or you just kind of got to ride it out wherever you are at the bottom because you're not moving anywhere.
Are you excited for Darlington here on May 6th? Will, you think you'll have the same amount of success here that you did tonight at Talladega?
I'm very excited for Darlington, and I won top split last year, so I've got some experience to go off of. So I'm looking forward to it. Work with the team, get ready for that, and I think I'll be ready.
Well, congratulations to you tonight on your second place win. You were 4th in points in the standing of the series when we started here tonight. Is there anybody that you would like to thank tonight, Will?
Team Nexus. We did a good bit of testing for this plate track. We test a lot every week, but mainly it was Jesse I gotta thank. He did a great job on the setup once again for plate tracks. That's his bread and butter, so keep this momentum going, and one more good finish should, I'd hope, essentially lock me into the round of 70.
Well, thank you so much tonight, Will, and best of luck to you in Darlington, to you and your team as well on May 6th.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Second place, Will Norton. How about Nexus Esport finishing 1st and 2nd with McKissick and Will Norton? Final thoughts here, Hanks, before we wrap it up.
I honestly thought that we were going to go green all the way through. I mean, they were looking to keep it that way, but just one unfortunate little bump. I think these drivers did very, very well, like they do every week here at STN. Or not every week, excuse me, every time we bring them around here at STN. But I am very excited to see how they do in Darlington. Not sure if I'll be in the booth for that one, but you can sure as heck find me in the stands.
Should be a good time. Coming up next on STN tomorrow, FTF Saturday Night Super Speedway League, except it's on a Friday, presented by STN. It's the season finale at Talladega. tomorrow night, 9 o'clock. Then Saturday, FTF Grand National Series presented by Bar Visuals, 10 p.m. on Saturday. Four Corners Racing League, Monday, April 26th, 8:15. We are, all three of those races are at Talladega. It's Talladega week here on STN. As I mentioned, 2 weeks from now, we will be back at Darlington with the eNASCAR Road to Pro Qualifying iRacing Series second split. In the meantime, for Hex Valentine and our producer, Zach Johnson, I am Jacob Hitt. Thank you so much for watching. Brandon McKissick, your winner here at Talladega. We'll see you in 2 weeks at Darlington. Till then, good night.
Good night, everybody.
Carry on the battle, son. The war's not over. The dawn's not that far away. Hop back on the saddle soon. You soulless soldier. The dark can consume your brain. All we ever wanted was a little air to breathe. But all we got are ashes of our own.